What's up? Life is a mission. The roving team. Well, them say after a storm must be a calm. The dogs are at work. Everybody is in, you know? Well, people, it seems like we have passed the worst of this old foot Hurricane Beryl. Yes. That don't mean we're not going to still get some showers. But as you can see, I am in the middle of the road right now. Yes, man, I'm in the middle of the road. The middle of the road, I mean. We're still having some showers, but I think we have passed the worst. The sky is still dark, you know. Yeah. But they said Hurricane Beryl has made landfall in Jamaica at about 5 o'clock this evening. So basically I was on live on the main channel where, you know, it have to end disruptedly because of power outages, and I did inform the people on the live that if the live to cut off, you know, it's because of loss of power. So I am here to carry you some updates and some news from the main news station, you know, one of the main news station in Jamaica. So I am here under my umbrella, you know. I get a little nap also because after the live cut, you know, I was there boring because of no light and nothing, no internet and stuff. I get boring, so I just started to get sleepy. So I just take the time to get some rest. And you know, wake up back, set my clock to alarm, my phone to alarm at 7 so I could catch some of the news. And I just jump up and catch some of the news. So life is a mission, roving team. We're outside and we are gonna bring you a few, you know, clips and stuff from one of our major news stations in Jamaica, and I will show you some other, you know, amateur clips that we're taking at the end of the video. But I could carry the professional part of it first, you know, and at the end of the professional part of it, of the roundup of what's going on in and around the different parishes in Jamaica, then I will give you some unprofessional clips, what I would call amateur clips, you know, who have, you know, those people who love to back their phones out and take their pictures, you know. I will give you some clips from that. So just stay tuned. I don't know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, hit the thumbs up when you hit the video, you know, and remember, please to watch the ads. Continue to support both of my channels, Speak My Mind Entertainment and Life is a Mission TV. And let's get this channel to 3,000 subscribers, please, before the week is out. And remember now, we might not get all the details of what is happening in and around until probably tomorrow or the day after, which is Friday. So just stay tuned. So you need to subscribe so you can get some more details and the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Alright, so stay tuned for some news. I see what's your name again? Something another minor in the comment section said she are not getting any information, and like she's from Port and Tony, something like that. Well, there are some clips from Portland in the newscast, so you can just join and see what is going on. Alright, and when I release this video, I think I'm going to go live, you know, since I'm home not doing anything I don't know. Once the light is up, so the internet is back, so I'm going to go live. I don't know if it's on the Life is a Mission channel or Speak My Mind channel. I will think about that in another hour time, but I will be going live later in another hour time after I upload this video and release it. So bless upon yourself and stay tuned for more updates, because remember, you know, the storm just passed, you know, happily, really and truly. I don't think we have felt much of this storm in Kingston. I can't talk for the whole Kingston area itself, but you know, in Kingston, and then the news didn't give you much of any damage or any reports of Kingston away from, like, down by the Greenwich Farm beach and stuff like that, So I think Kingston was spared, as I did in earlier video where I tell you that I hear that Clarendon side, whole Harbour, back that side going, back that side was feeling most of the weather at the time, where breeze and strong winds and rainfall was concerned. All right, so we won't know much of the damage that overall that take place in and around the different parishes until probably tomorrow or Friday. So there's a lot more reports to come in. All right, so stay tuned. Life is a mission TV, and remember, life is always a mission. It's not a competition. And when it comes on to times like these, it can be proven that life is a mission. It's not a competition. Yes, man. Life is a mission, man. So it's a mission with upon, even for going through storms, on top of storms, and stuff. At this evening, I was like doing a little research on the storms that we have been through from about my first storm was Gilbert, 1988, because before that, all you hear about 51 storm, 51 storm. My generation never born that time, and even probably a few before me never born that time, until we come and experience 1998 Gilbert. And from then you have Ivan, Sandy, Dennis. I don't even remember that 2005, a two-storm we experience. Dennis and who again? Dennis and one another one we experienced two storms. We experienced in 2005. So life is always going to be a mission. It's not a competition. So all who want to feel like life is a competition and compete with one another, when the man up above talk, all of we have to keep quiet. Alright? So stay tuned. And do. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and hit the thumbs up when you hit the video. I'm pleased to watch the ads. I'm out. The rain has come down a little bit heavier. As we said, despite the passing of the storm, we still can get a lot of water right back into the weekend. Today is just Wednesday. We still can get a lot of water right back into the weekend. So the storm pass, which is the major part of it, but water, we still can have flooding from based on the amount of rain and the volume of water, we still can have flooding, right? But the wind might die down. We might not see the wind, but we can see a lot of water from the storm for the next 2 to 3 days. So the major part of it has passed, but we still have some concern, to see how much water we are going to get from the aftermath of Beryl. Alright? So stay tuned. Oh, I'm going to just freshen up some of the memory about this previous storm that we have. I'm not talking about the one that we turn back. Yeah, the previous one them that hit Jamaica. Alright? Stay tuned. So people, in 1980, we have a hurricane by the name of Allen. 1998, we have the one that I know of, because I never remember 1980 Allen. Must be one little small something that, because as I said, before 1998, which is Hurricane Gilbert, a 51 storm here everybody I talk about. All songs sing about it. 51 storm me never born. 51 storm me never born. Yeah, so I don't know about Allen, but Allen was 1980. And that was a dreadful here in Jamaica, where, election and crime was concerned. And then 2004, we have another devastating hurricane, Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Then 2005, this is where we have two. We have Emily in 2005, and we have Dennis. So we was hit with two hurricanes in 2005. And then 2007, we have Hurricane Dean. Yes, we have a few other hurricanes where we never get a direct hit. These are the ones that we get hit. As I said, I remember the one we come 1980, but if the record said so, who am I to say no? So me just freshen on the memory upon a few of the hurricanes. So stay tuned for the video clips and what take place today from one of our major news station who have their team out there roving and bringing news from different parishes and happenings. All right. Well, the newscast just make a little bit of correction. They said it did not make landfall. The hurricane did not make landfall because the eye passed within a certain part. So basically, Beryl did not make landfall in Jamaica. So it seems like Hurricane Beryl passed under Jamaica. It did not make landfall because them say when a storm make landfall, that simply means the eye would have to make landfall. Comes well. I'm going to try to get some more information before I post this video from the weather channel, so you can have a better understanding. All right, so I can put it into this. So stay tuned.
Stay with us. Now, Beryl is currently towards the southwest of the island and is moving away. We do have some shower and thunderstorm activity continuing to affect sections of western parishes. Across the eastern Caribbean, there is a tropical wave in the eastern portion of the basin that is generating clouds, showers, and thunderstorms south of the Virgin Islands. We expect this wave in the center of the basin late in the afternoon tomorrow. Now, category 4 Hurricane Beryl at 7 o'clock this evening was 17.5 degrees north and 77.6 degrees west. It's moving towards the west-northwest at 31 kilometers per hour, and the maximum winds are 215 kilometers per hour. Now, Beryl is expected to maintain a major hurricane as it moves south of the Cayman Islands in the afternoon tomorrow, possibly weakening to a hurricane sometime in the afternoon on Thursday. Now, for the forecast for tonight, we expect lingering shower and thunderstorm activity as a result of the system, especially across sections of western parishes. It should drop to 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston and 25 degrees Celsius for Montego Bay. In the morning tomorrow, expect more of those showers and thunderstorms, particularly if you are in central or western portions of the island. And for the afternoon, it's mostly cloudy with highs of 32 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and we expect 33 degrees Celsius for Montego Bay. The breakdown has partly cloudy skies covering most of the afternoon in the southeast tomorrow. Showers are forecast for Maypen, showers and winds for Mandeville. Showers and thunderstorms with windy conditions are forecast in the morning in the southwest in Santa Cruz, Black River, Savannah, Lamar, and McGill, while it's partly cloudy in the afternoon in Port Antonio, partly cloudy in Port Maria. It's partly cloudy in the afternoon in Ocho Rios, St. Anne's Bay, Brownstown, and we expect morning clouds, showers, and thunderstorms with strong winds in Montego Bay, Lucy, and Falmouth. Now, across the island, we have an increase in clouds, showers, and thunderstorms. The winds are likely to be prevailing through the period up to next week, Monday. We have some thunderstorms in the forecast on Saturday and Sunday. It's on Saturday and Sunday, but on Monday, expect partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Now, tonight across the north, we are expecting category 3 hurricane conditions across the area, but tomorrow, the wind speeds are averaging anywhere between 15 getting up
years with a Sagicor lifestyle group.
Some 80 reports to date, Janela. A lot of the impact that we're seeing relating to downed trees, power lines, some landslides. We have quite a number of roads in the parish of Portland that have been impacted and are still being impacted. St. Mary as well. The North Coast Highway between Port Antonio and Fair Prospect, that is being impacted. We also have had the road from Morant Bay into Yallas being impacted. The Mandela Highway this afternoon was being impacted by fallen trees. We have some roads in the west as well that are being impacted. One critical one that I wish to mention is the Cemetery Road in St. Anne's Bay. That is the main road leading to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. That one is now impassable, and we're advising persons who wish to access the St. Anne's Bay Hospital to go along the North Coast Highway and take that road from the roundabout to go into the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. The main road leading to the hospital at this time is now impassable. We have also had a similar report with the hospital in, I think it's one of those in the Anatomy Hospital was being impacted earlier today as well.
Usually when we're having these conversations, you hear
or people ask the question of what's the situation with the Bogwalk Gorge as well as the Junction Main Road. What's happening there?
The gorge was closed, and that was a preemptive measure. It remains closed. The Junction Road, we have had some issues there. Between Storms River and Broadgate, we have multiple impediments impacting that.
Was singled out as being that parish which would have felt the brunt of Beryl. Our reporter Kelisha Williams, she's been on the road from this morning and now joins us with the very latest. Kelisha, good evening.
Good evening, Janelle. Hope you're hearing me clearly because it's pretty windy outside, and it's been this way since I would say 4:30. In the earlier parts of the day, lots of people here were saying that, we're not getting burial. The worst, would have passed already. They were assuming, but by 4:30, it began, and things changed very quickly. It's been pretty intense. The rain was not so bad, or has not been that bad, but the wind is what's causing the devastation. It's quite scary. I don't think I've experienced anything like this before. And early in the day, I was on the road, as you mentioned, and leaving from Black River to Santa Cruz, we were staying now. We're in the Holland bamboo, and let me tell you, a lot of the bamboos were falling around us. At one point, we didn't know if we would have made it out of Holland bamboo at that point, because a lot of sections of the road, were just blocked by these bamboos, and the wind was picking up. And at that point, because I was also monitoring the system, it was not near to St. Elizabeth at the time. So you can just imagine how the devastation that we're getting right now. Several trees, even on the property we're staying now in Santa Cruz, have fallen. We still don't have any light. The water pressure is also low. And I spoke with ASP Code Regimental, who is the head of the St. Elizabeth Police, and he told me that several roads right across the southern sections of the parish in particular are now blocked.
Singled out as feeling the brunt of Hurricane Beryl, and you're saying that currently there's no electricity?
No electricity where I'm at right now. And I'm in Santa Cruz, and I was told right across southern part of the parish. I'm not sure about central, western, northern parts, but the southern parts we are without electricity. And the phone service is also bad in terms of just sending out and receiving calls. A lot of people, including myself, we've been having challenges there.
All right, so no electricity. It is extremely windy right now, and it is raining.
Yes.
And connectivity issues.
Yes.
Our reporter Jamila Maitland has been providing updates on Hurricane Beryl. Jamila, are you there?
Having some connectivity issue, but I'm bunkering down for right now. Earlier, I would have been talking to residents in Seaford, in Captureland, in Danvers Pen, the Wheelie Pen, the Moran Settlement, Cottage Pen. Most of these areas are informal settlement, and it's a growing community there. The mayor, that's Mr. Lewis Chin, has been asking persons or urging them to evacuate because some of them are located close to the shoreline, and we are seeing the rising sea level. The tides are just as high and heavy as well. Just now, he told me that he is trying to clear the roadway, that's the Roselle Main Road, because an emergency vehicle, that's a Jamaica Fire Brigade truck, was trying to pass, but because of the size of some of these boulders and the downed trees, they aren't able to pass, and so that area remains a priority for the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. Now, earlier, motorists were being urged to exercise caution while going around that stretch of roadway, and at some point in time, too, they actually came out of their cars trying to help each other, because that was such a good sign to see. Helping each other to clear the roadways that their vehicles could pass. Interestingly, though, Janella, I would have visited some of the shelters.
I would feel more gracious.
When you come to the shelter, was this what you were expecting, or you were expecting this?
Yes, I was expecting that would have somewhere that I like a cat. I'm not going to even lie down for another, but it did not. Because we bought some sheet and some clothes and everything they would put up.
I don't think anybody, well, it's not
Then my grandson come by. Then say, Grandma, go on before anything happens to you. I mean, I want nothing to do, you know. Yeah, because right now I'm comfortable. Maybe that was a fit.
They're up to an 83-year-old person. 65 persons are staying at that shelter for right now, and that was at about 6 p.m. today. The shelter manager did say that she's expecting more because they've been calling each other to find out what is happening in the community, and apparently it's getting worse and worse. And these are places in Cottage Pen, in Duane Pen, in not Danvers Pen, in Captureland, and in Morant Bay Settlement. Now, I would have spoken to the mayor, as I said, and I asked him how soon is it that they'll be able to get some food, and this is what he had to say.
All right, so Jamaila's particular part, but I don't know if you are still there, and perhaps later on we can play. But I know if you're still there, Jamila, what is the situation as we speak? Are you experiencing wind, rain? Can you paint a picture for us about what is happening in St. Thomas right now?
Well, right now, it's a little windy and a little rain. Apparently, residents seem to feel as if the parish has seemingly passed the worst, but it is raining right now and it is windy. Luckily, where I'm staying, and that's in Morant Bay, there is power, but I know that in places like Cedar Valley, in sections of Duane Pen, Dumfries, they are without electricity, and that has been the case from about 9 a.m. this morning.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Janela. So my roving today took me to some dangerous areas like the ever-threatening Sandy Gully and other areas where residents expressed concerns about being at the mercy of other waterways that were not adequately cleaned. Here's that roundup.
It may be a scenic view, but it's a dangerous path. While not much activity was observed within the corporate area, the Sandy Gully was almost at full spate. In New Haven in St. Andrew, some residents were on edge as debris blocked the channels, which should have provided free flow where the river meets the gully.
The culvert them, that's the main issue. It take all the water from in the community and going through the culvert, and the culvert don't clean. So if the culvert don't clean, it's gonna be a major flooding for us during the hurricane coming, right? But what we can do, we can't do because we don't see nobody come and make a try to clean the culvert.
Despite the obvious dangers, the people insisted they will not go to the nearby emergency shelter at the Edith Dalton High School. In fact, of the entire community, only 8 people made use of the facility.
Okay, I'm going to shelter because we secure the pig them and everything, because we have only for pigs and goats and all these things, so we have to get them secure to either go on. Oh, it's kind of alright to a deck top, you know. Because we don't really fear the flooding, you know. We don't fear the breeze right now to come and kill them with this. We used to the water like that.
As Hurricane Beryl made landfall along Jamaica's coastline, unlike several communities within the corporate area, the Greenwich fishing beach that many locals depend on for their livelihoods faced significant upheaval. Now the hurricane unleashed relentless winds and torrential rains, transforming the peaceful shores into a battleground of nature's fury.
Now go in for engine, because we have an engine for a boat. We net them join our boat. So once how dangerous the storm is, that means that we don't come up more, we have to go there after all of the boat. So all them man there, they get strength. That means that if the storm is that dangerous, that means that if the water come up further, we have strength and help for all of the boat them for the land. Because we have a boat or engine, we protect them because they're expensive, they're easy to buy.
Reporting from the Greenwich Town Fishing Beach, I'm Sandy Williams for TVJ News.
Well, Javon, I must tell you, the scene in Old Harbor Bay and St. Catherine in general was something out of a horror movie, to say the very least. From the sea levels rising, the very heavy rainfall and winds, it was something very, very scary, and you hear the reactions from residents and persons in this wrap right now.
The situation here at the Old Harbor Bay Fishing Village in St. Catherine is dire. The sea levels have risen. The rainfall is showing no signs of letting up, and the wind is heavy, so much so saw a few objects flying in the wind, and even at this hour, residents, including fishermen, are still scrambling to secure boats, equipment, and other personal belongings. It's safe to say, based on what we're seeing here today, that Hurricane Beryl did not spare Jamaica.
Well, it kinda hard away, but we have to deal with it.
Jesus Christ, we have to, we can't fight in baby. We never. Why that things come on Jamaica? I ask him, but we can't get the answer. Why those things come on Jamaica? What if we ever feel it? Why?
Last time I came up here and everybody laughed when the storm never come. This time I'm right.
Within moments of the torrential rain flooding in Old Harbor Bay, while driving through the area, we heard this alarm. It's an evacuation warning, but some residents insist they're not leaving their homes.
Well, evacuation going in the air, I kind of understand the area, so if we get justice, we know when to really evacuate.
One of the main shelters in the parish, which is closest to the Old Harbor Bay community, is the Old Harbor High School. We were told that the shelter is now at full capacity, as there are roughly 120 residents there. 120 uncomfortable and frightened residents.
She's not too comfortable in this facility at this moment.
But this is just a fraction of the disaster seen across the parish. TVJ News understands that sections of the Linstead Courthouse and police station were destroyed. Not to mention the downed trees and power lines that litter the parish's main roads. And as Hurricane Beryl continues to lash sections of the island.
We have done the preparations already. We are just waiting to see how much, in terms of readiness, we are, and to start any kind of recovery that is going to be needed. But now we are here, and we expect and we hope that the worst will not happen.
Reporting from St. Catherine.
So, lots of rain still here in Port Antonio, Portland, and lots of winds. Now, we've been moving through the area for quite some time now, and I can tell you that the road we're leading from Port Antonio to communities like Dolphin Bay, Long Bay, Hector's Rivers, and those communities going closer to St. Thomas remains impassable. Not much movement on the road, as you can see behind me, because the residents have complied with the Disaster Risk Management Act. Now, I've also been visiting areas like shelters, and we've been speaking with the people at these shelters. I spoke with the acting chief executive officer of the Portland Municipal Corporation. Here's what she had to say.
We presently have 18 shelters open at the moment with 320.
Plays their part. The people in the shelters we spoke with had complaints.
People there said them hungry, and they want food. Because they run out same way, and then they carry nothing.
There's something a foolish man.
You mention of the place wet up and things. Talking about the condition of the facility and the shelter.
It really not proper. Because they always tap a leak, wet up and everything, God place wet up and everywhere lock up a schoolroom and just yes, we have to stand up and we have a whole for pity them in our place.
We put those issues to the acting CEO.
Well, I know there might be some frustration, for instance, this morning when we could not reach to the Buffalo Valley. But we had started distribution from Manchonil.
Portland, I'm Anthony Leb for TVJ.
Ramiro Lyons joins us in studio to tell us,
what he saw, right?
Things that he saw throughout the day, and of course, the activities in the areas that he covered.
Well, my coverage took me across the corporate area. Now, the United Nations says homelessness violates the principle of human dignity. Now, apart from the fallen trees and floodings across the corporate area, that violation was on full display. My story focuses on homeless Jamaicans who were left to weather the storm, unlike you at home, on the streets. Right here, I was drenched by waves. Having to continue roving in that condition was far from comfortable. But there were some people, sadly, who knew nothing else as Beryl lashed the island. Driving around downtown Kingston and the corporate area, the roads are completely empty with the exception of a few police vehicles patrolling. But very noticeable are the homeless people left to weather the storm on the outside. cross steps on Duke Street before the rain started. Another one here, the same on King Street as seen in this shot. It started raining at this point, and this man sat with only a box. Further down, this one had a pillow and a sheet and laid atop a flattened cardboard box. Another here, with a smaller piece of cardboard and old bags being used as pillows. And this one on the same sidewalk wrapped in a sheet. On Orange Street, this man walked down the sidewalk with a stick. In the parade area, this man sat in a wheelchair. Approaching from behind him, this man, angry and cursing expletives. When I put the issue to Reverend Stephen Smith, pastor at the Seaforth Circuit of Baptist churches, he said it's a deeply saddening reality.
It asks a question, how caring are we as a nation? And so I'm really saddened to know that that's your encounter, that the experience you had, seeing so many persons in this kind of weather. It's a hurricane. And so the authorities, should have really ensured that wherever these persons are, that, they be taken up and taken to a place of shelter.
This man walking along Hero Circle. This man in Crossroads, as the island itself was at a crossroads with Hurricane Beryl. Another across the Card 5 cinema with multiple boxes, an umbrella, plastic, yet still getting wet.
I am really, really, really disheartened to know.
And she's saying that certainly they kind of imagine what the place will look like tomorrow after the downpour and wind. So of course we'll have more updates for you in subsequent newscasts. But guess what?
The fast-moving Category 1, 2, Category 3 winds, and it's only the west that we are concentrating on for the time being, as they are still under the influence of Category 3 winds with some strong showers and thunderstorms, particularly across Westmoreland and some parts of St. Elizabeth as well as Manchester.
Relative calm sections of the country are getting a battering as the impact of Hurricane Beryl is now being felt. Earlier today,
Javon, it was, when will it start? And I'm sure many persons are now asking, when will the rain and wind stop?
Now, for the very latest of the system, we're joined by our in-house meteorologist, Romaine Robinson. Romaine, what can you tell us?
Well, so far for about 12 to 14 hours, for the past 12 to 14 hours, we have been experiencing across Jamaica heavy showers, thunderstorms, and some strong winds as a result of the passage to the south of the island of Hurricane Beryl. Now, at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Beryl was at 17.5 north and 77.6 degrees west. So this means that the system is still just south of St. Elizabeth, just south of Manchester, in that general area. We're expecting the system to move away from the area over the next few hours, and it should be moving into the western portion of the Caribbean. It should also be affecting sections of the Cayman Islands in the morning, early tomorrow. Currently, the maximum wind speed is Category 4 at 220 kilometers per hour.
All right, so Romaine, I want you to zoom in on that map for me. We see that yellow section right there, the 5 p.m. Wednesday. Can you explain to us what is happening right here?
So the red is actually encircling the Jamaica area to show that we are under a hurricane warning. So areas under red are under a hurricane warning. So you can see along the coast, the Yucatan Peninsula coast, we do have a hurricane warning. In effect, yellows would represent the tropical, blue rather would represent the tropical storm warning.
From a time perspective, because that's the question many people are asking, when will we stop experiencing the rains and wind, that those telltale signs that Beryl is still somewhere about?
We're expecting across sections of the east between tonight, early tomorrow morning, conditions should be dying down. We're expecting the winds to return to near normal. We expect the rainfall to also return to near normal across the area. But it's not until in the afternoon, early afternoon tomorrow across sections of the west that we're expecting to see conditions return to normal. We're expecting to see partly cloudy skies again, some sun peeping through.
It was expected that by now Hurricane Beryl would have downgraded to a Category 2 system. What accounts for it still being this massive, powerful beast of a storm still at Category 4?
Well, for the most part, there has been some strengthening and weakening as the system has moved through the area. So that's one of the reasons that the the speed of the winds hasn't changed significantly across the area. However, that Category 2 expected system to be south of Jamaica, that was in previous forecasts from the Hurricane Center.
I mean, final question for me at least, is Beryl a telltale sign of what to expect for the remainder of the hurricane season? Because
this evening, after a resident was swept away by flood waters.
Now the 20-year-old is feared dead. Kirkwright spoke with a resident about what led to the incident.
So they were playing ball. Somebody kicked the ball and the ball went into the gully. So he went after the ball and he just washed away. His name is Kalanji. He's of brown complexion. He's in his early 20s.
So it was evident that the gully was full of water, right?
Yes, the gully full of water.
So give us an idea. So he just jumped in, or he was trying to hold on to something to grab the ball. What happened?
No, he jumped in for the ball. He tried to catch the ball.
And he was washed away immediately?
Immediately. But divers from the Rima community went in, tried to save him, but no, they didn't find him.
It was confirmed by the police, the Ministry of Health, that the person had passed. But I mean, that is unfortunate. That's something that we did not want to happen in this event. As always, one life lost is always one too many. And so the ODPEM and members of the NUOC and I'm sure the other persons across Jamaica will extend condolences to the family of that lady that passed.
And another tragic situation, we had reports, we just had an interview earlier with my colleague Kirkwright, who spoke about a gentleman who was actually at Polly Smith Drive and he washed away in a gully. Any update on that?
Well, the police is still conducting their investigation. They're still trying to find that person. Probably, we're hoping if they find them, hope that the person will be alive. But in that situation, it's the second time that is happening. In an event of this nature, something similar happened last year. And so in that situation, when someone gets into a gully in rainfall activities and wind of this nature, then normally don't make it. That is unfortunate. We're still waiting on the police to probably recover that body and confirm that person. If that is done, it will bring the death toll so far from this to 2. Again, very unfortunate. And it goes to show why the orders went out in terms of persons to stay in, and if you did not have any reason to be on the road, to be off the road. That area is a troubled spot where we see persons getting caught up in floodwaters in the gully, probably person trying to cross the gully or by other means. And so we're always saying to persons, avoid these areas whenever time we are having emergency or disaster type situation of this nature. Right. And earlier that just confirmed that was in Hannibal.
Okay, let's move on to one.
When the brigade got there, they were actually rescued by the citizens there, and while they were there was another incident with 9 persons being trapped in another house, and they were actually rescued by the brigade. So we're seeing a lot of these situations happening. Good thing is that it has not been a lot, and we give thanks for that. So the roof. And so they had to transfer the patient from that ward to another ward. And we're happy as well that nothing further happened, just the roof going and none of the patients were injured in that situation. So we are also happy for that. So we have been pulling in the information and we continue to update the country in terms of what is happening within the National Emergency Operations Center.
Thank you, Sina.
And it is something that I've already spoken to the Prime Minister about in engaging at a very high level with political leadership, because there comes a time when enough is going to be enough, and we will examine what the act gives us the authority to do, and we will consider it and we will take the necessary steps when it becomes necessary.
Now, forecasters predict that the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season will be very active. Prime Minister Andrew Holness insists that Jamaica is strengthening its resilience to natural disasters by working on initiatives linked to national security, climate change, financing, and the safeguarding infrastructure.
That all our new highways, not the existing ones, but the new ones, are being built off the coast to higher ground and built with enough reinforcement, drainage, and protection. So we
need quite a bit to get through your trusted and comprehensive source for coverage of Hurricane Beryl. We'll take a quick break, but don't worry.